Yeah, so I I reckon that I would choose to live in a city, but
Yeah.
sometimes I can have like I can take time to chill out in the countryside or in the rural area.
Very good, very good. Okay, so you like, hustle and bustle of maybe towns and cities because you said I like noise, hustle and bustle. Do you remember? I think we talked about it. Do you know the meaning of hustle and bustle?
No.
So let me write. The first thing that you need to learn. When you say this is an idiom, for example, I like, for example, the hustle and bustle, for example, of my town, my hometown, my town. I like the hustle and bustle of, it means noise and crowd.
Yeah.
Hustle and bustle means noise and crowd. Well, okay.
Teacher.
Well,
But um, this idiom is useful in speaking or in reading, teacher.
this is actually, it can be used in speaking, of course, because this is an idiom, but
Yeah.
sometimes you may face it in reading. So, of course, it's something that you may face. This is an idiom. So
Yeah.
if you see something like this, if you hear something like this, it means uh, noisy and crowd place. So hustle and bustle means noise and crowd. Okay, well, let's get started. Okay, let's get started. Well, today we're gonna start with reading section. First of all, let's talk about some method, maybe some points about reading. Okay. In IELTS reading, as you know, a text is given to you, and you need to read it. You need to answer some questions, and we have different types of questions. For
Yeah.
example, matching heading, yes, no question, multiple choice question. Okay, so we have different types of questions. First of all, you need to know the methods of reading. Skimming, scanning. Let me make it a little. Okay, now it's better. I think you can see better. And let me change the color to white so that you can see it better. Okay, well, now it's better. Well, so skim and scan. So you need to know how to read the text, original text, in order to save your time, not to waste it. Okay. First of all, let's talk about skim read. Skim read means a general, maybe a quick, a fast read in order to get the general idea of the text. It means you don't need to pay attention to the names, details. Okay, just try to get the whole meaning, the general idea of the text. Okay, but in scanning, you need to scan the text. You need to read carefully in order to find some details, some synonyms. Okay, but there is a point here. Some readers are fast readers. For
Yeah.
example, I am a fast reader. It means I don't need to skim the text and after that scan the text. Okay, just, I read it once and that's enough. For people, for students, for candidates who are not really fast, it's better to read a text 2 times, but we don't have enough time to do it in IELTS. We may actually lose our score, so we can do something. Let's talk about types, actually different parts of reading. First of all, you need to read your instruction. What is instruction? Let me show you. The difference between instruction and questions. most of us and most of candidates, students think that, okay, instruction means question. No, there are difference. This is, okay, instruction. Read the paragraph below about the island of Mallorca. Okay, so this is something that you need to know. Sometimes we have, for example, a skim read. Okay, something. So this is something that you need to do. Okay, and then, for example, you need to find, okay, a question. It can be this the question. Here, look, we have some matching heading. Look, this is read the first sentence of a paragraph. This is our instruction, okay? And after that, we have questions. There are our options. There are questions. So which of three options seems to be most likely heading, okay? So first of all, we need to do something. Now, some people believe that it's better to read the text first, then go to questions. But this is my method, and I say it's better to read the questions first in order to underline the keywords and maybe circle the anchor words. So I read the questions first, underline the keywords. Now I read my text. In this way, when I see, actually my eyes are familiar with the words that I saw in question. So if I check the text, if I see them again, actually I can find the answers faster. So this is a method, but it's your choice, no matter if you read the text first and then check your question. So no matter. Well, another rule about reading. Another thing that you need to know, you may know this and you may not know, the answers except matching heading. So except matching questions, that they are not in order. About the other questions like yes, no question, multiple choice, or something like sentence completion, the answers are in order. It means if, for example, this is my text, and if first answer is in the first paragraph, definitely the next is after the first. So they are in order. Of course, as I told you, except matching. There is no order for matching questions. You need to read all paragraphs, okay? So this is another thing. So the answers are in order. Okay.
Teacher,
Yes.
the matching question is on the top of the paragraph, right?
Now, let me say, yes, there is something about matching heading. Okay, there is a point about heading. For example, this is my paragraph. Let me, okay, erase these lines. Okay, for example, this is my paragraph. And I want to find the heading, the main idea of the text. There is a point that you need to know. Normally, you can find the main point at the beginning or the end of my text. So, for example, your text consists of 4 paragraphs. So if you want to find the main idea or heading, it's better to start to read the first and the last paragraph, because first is introduction, last is summary. So if you can find the main idea in the first paragraph, definitely you can find it in the last paragraph. And there is something else. For example, my introduction, my first paragraph consists of 4 lines. Normally, you can find the main idea at the, in the last line. So normally, of course, this rule doesn't apply for all text. No, there are some exceptions. So we are talking about 80% of text. Okay, if you can find, you need to read the whole text, okay? Of course, you can find it. So let's read the first and the last paragraph in order to find the heading, okay?
Yes.
Well, okay. Let's get started. Okay. This is the first part of our reading. It includes some difficult words, so it's okay. Just I'm talking about pronunciation. So no worries if you couldn't find, actually couldn't pronounce the words. I will help you. If you want, you can read it. So read the paragraph below about the island of Mallorca. Okay, let's read.
Um, Mallorca, the biggest of the Palearic Islands, is situated in the Mediterranean Sea, some 300 kilometers from the Valencia coast of Spain, and is an exciting mix of urban energy, rural adventure, and coastal calm. Um, Although it isn't popular with the Spanish as a tourist destination, it annually welcomes people from all over Europe, particularly from the United Kingdom, France, and Germany, who may head for Alcudia Beach or go hiking in the Tramuntanas, a mountain range that runs from the northeast to the southwest of the island. The busy capital city, Palma de Mallorca, contrasts entirely with the traditional rural towns and villages in the heart of the island, such as Achida or Salem.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So Mallorca, the biggest of the Balearic Island, is situated in the Mediterranean Sea and some 300 kilometers from the Valencian coast of Spain.
Yes.
And another word, of course, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, and Alcudia Beach, and the Trementinus, and Palma de Mallorca, Algaida, or Binasalem. Okay, well, let's talk about this paragraph. Okay, as you can see, some nouns, underline now, I'm talking about underline nouns, are preceded by the Balearic Islands, the Mediterranean Sea, okay? And some of them know, like Germany, like, for example, France, okay? Or Al-Qaeda. Do you know why some of these nouns actually are preceded by that is a definite article, and some of them not? Do you know? Do you have any idea?
Well, but I don't really get the question.
So let me say, look, here I have the Balearic Island. Why don't I say Balearic Island, not the Balearic? Why there was used? Why? Do you know? And why for Germany we don't say the Germany, we say Germany? Why?
Yes.
So why for Al-Qaeda we say Al-Qaeda, we don't say the Al-Qaeda, but for example Valencian coast we say the Valencian.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I want to know this. So do you have any idea?
Yes, because I think that when we talk about the Palearic Islands, because at the first we have noticed the Mallorca, and then we say that the biggest of the Palearic Islands, and if we say like that, I think that people will know that this Palearic Island is
What?
in Mallorca. Oh no no
What?
no, the Mallorca is in the Palearic Island.
Okay, well, let's talk about the use of definite article the. because there are some actually situations that you need to use and some situations that you don't need to use. So let's talk about them. Okay, let me erase this one. Okay, well, so first of all, let's talk about the situations that you don't need to use article. So first of all, for individual islands, for example, Mallorca. This is an island that we don't need to use the, so we don't say the Mallorca, we say Mallorca, okay? So individual islands. The name, actually, names of most countries. Names of most countries. Such as Spain, Germany, France, but of course, I'm not talking about the United countries, just, some countries, most countries. And after that, names of beaches. So
Yeah.
for name of beaches, we don't say, for example, Alcudia Beach. We don't say the Alcudia, okay? The Alcudia, no, just Alcudia Beach. Of course, there's something I would talk about, the other form of it. And names of cities. Name of cities, towns, regions, okay? For example, Palma de Mallorca. So this is region. Or Binissalem. So name of cities, towns, areas, regions, okay? There is no need to use the article. And names of mountains. For example, Mount Everest. Okay, for example, Mount Blanc. Okay, so names of mountains.
Yes.
There are some situations that we need to use the. So we talked about the situations that we don't need to use the article. Now, let's talk about the uses for actually of the. The first one, when you talk about group of islands. For example, you say the Balearic Islands, the group of islands. So you need to use the. Let me add it. The group of islands, like the Balearic Islands. And as I told you, for names of beaches, we don't need to use the, but for coastal areas, we use the. For example, the Valencian coast. So for coastal areas, we use the Valencian coast. For oceans and seas, we use the Mediterranean Sea. For example, the Pacific Ocean, okay? For nationalities, we use the Spanish. For example, the Chinese, the German, okay? And for countries, for united countries, okay, which are republic, for example, or kingdom, or united, the UK, the United States of America, or republic, the Republic of China, So for countries which are republic, or for example, kingdom, or for example, united countries, or something like unions, or okay. So For example, the Republic of China, the United States, the United Kingdom, okay? And for mountain, okay, as I told you, for example, for Everest, we don't say Mount Everest, it's okay, but for mountain ranges, okay, so that is really important. Mountain ranges, okay, we use, for example, the Tremendous, the range of mountain, the Himalaya, range of mountains, not only one mount. So we say the range of mountains, so we say the Himalaya. And for the next one, geographical areas. So geographical areas, for example, the northeast, the southwest, okay? And some other something like some other features, like for example, like I don't know, something like lake, for example, when we have the name of lake, okay?
Yes.
You can say, for example, you can use no article, okay, and just say the name of lake. But for rivers, like for example, you can use that and to something like capitalize, you know, the word river, okay? So for example, the river, I don't know the name of, for example, the river, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you can use that. But for lake, you don't need, you only need to say the name of the lake. Okay, get it?
Yes.
So we discussed the uses of the definite article there. Now let's keep going. Well, about the second part, we're gonna talk about matching heading, the first thing. Okay, so let's do this part together in order to understand this actually type of questions better. Just first of all, as you can see, look at this title, the world's most unusual towns and cities. Okay, when we see this title, what's actually, you know, what you might expect to read? What text, for example? Can you guess? This is our title. What do you expect to read?
I think that um, the paragraph will be about some city and towns that so worth and is famous.
Very good. Of course, it can be. Well, now let's read. This is the first paragraph, okay, about the city of Orwell in India. Is the, okay, now let's read and try to find the best topic sentence, the best heading, okay, for the first paragraph. Okay, well, let's read. May I ask you to read this one, please?
In today's world of conflict, greed and constant struggles for power, Auroville, Aka, the city of dawn, claims on its website that it was planned and built to create the ultimate model of unity, peace, and harmony that can be projected across all humanity.
Okay, very good. So, first of all, let's underline the keywords. So, the words of conflict. Oh, let me. Well, okay. The words of conflict, greed, and struggle for power. And it was plan, ultimate model of unity, peace, harmony.
Yeah.
Okay, so humanity. Okay, well, now let's have a look at these three options and try to find the best heading? Which one? You can guess. Just while you're thinking, may I ask you 1 minute to drink water?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
thank you. Well,
Yeah. I think that's B.
okay, you think B, great, but how could you find it?
Because your it's talk about the conflict of the city, then it need to I think that's make a simple. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, well, so let's paraphrase. Of course, we need to paraphrase our
Yeah.
heading. Yes.
Can I have a question? It's like uh, you have said that of in the matching headings and in the last sentence is they don't contain the answer, right? Because
Say again. I couldn't get what you said. Say again. In matching heading?
in matching heading in matching heading and in the last like the last sentence of the paragraph it doesn't contain the answer.
No, I told you, you can find your
Yeah.
answer in the first and last line of paragraph. You
Oh,
can find a general idea because the first paragraph is introduction, and normally the end of the first paragraph, maybe the last line, is something like a summary of whole paragraph. So if you can't find it at the beginning, you can find it at the last line, okay, in the last line. And if you can't find in the first paragraph, you can check the summary, the last paragraph, okay? So you can. What? Okay, your answer is correct, but now let's analyze this paragraph, and of course we have the whole text.
yeah.
So let's read the whole text and then we will analyze our answer, okay? May I ask you to read the full paragraph?
In today's world of conflict, grid and constant structures for power, Auroville, aka the City of Dawn, claims on its website that it was planned and built to create the ultimate model of unity, peace, and harmony that can be projected across all humanity. It has no government, no one owns any property and money rarely. If ever changes hands, there is no leader and rules do not exist. While most experiments at creating the perfect city the, do not meet with success, the majority of Aravilla's residents believe the city to be an exception, although its critics point to the fact that levels of crime have been creeping up for some years now. Its citizens choose to remain there, still believing in its utopian dream, still following its path towards a better world.
Okay, very good. Okay, now let's talk about the words in the text. Okay, well, the first thing, as I told you, we underline the keywords in questions. So the first one, the reason why attempts to create the perfect city. Okay, so let's check when we say about there is nothing, actually always fail. Do we have anything related to this word? Nothing. So first of all, because this is keyword and we
Yeah.
have nothing about it in the text. So first of all, we remove it. About the second one, ideal, imperfect, okay, design. So let's check. First of all, plan. This is a keyword. Okay, design or plan. Ultimate means highest in degree. So ultimate means highest in degree. It means ideal. So as you can see, we have ideal. Okay, so we could find two keywords here. So we can say that when we say planned and built and imperfect, look, we have the word of conflict, the word that is not perfect, greed and constant. Do you know the meaning of greed?
No.
Okay, let me say the meaning of some words because they're useful. So greed means desire for more of something. It can be money, it can be food. For example, you want more money, you want more food, so it means you're greedy. So greed means desire for more of something, okay? And so this is really good. So when we say word of conflict, greed and constant struggle, it means imperfect, not perfect, and negative, okay?
Yeah.
So, and we have some other words like plan, that is the actually synonym for design, so we can consider it. And we have urban life, okay? So we talked about urban life here, that we have model of unity, so we can consider it, okay? Ultimate ideal model of unity, so we can consider it as the paraphrase of our text. So, and the last one, C, a conflict between reality and imitation. So this sentence talk about, something like peace and harmony. That is not something about conflict. So it's something like contradiction, of conflict in heading. So in heading we have conflict, but here we have harmony, agreement. Actually, when we say harmony means agreement in idea, or for example, some other fields. So it means something like agreement.
Yes.
Harmony. Okay, so we can say that B is our answer. So that is really, really important to paraphrase our questions. Okay, and keywords are really important. If you can't find a keyword, don't focus on the definition. You need to find some synonyms or definition. Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's keep going. We have another part. This is another paragraph, okay, from a text. So let's read about Longyearbyen and let's find the best heading. Okay, would you read, please?
Um, Longyearbyen, Norway, holds the record for being the furthest north city in the world, boasting the world's most northerly school, airport, and university.
Okay, well, can you guess
I think B.
You think B. Okay. So I do agree with you because this part of paragraph is a bit confusing. Now, let's read it. Let's read the whole paragraph, okay, and then decide.
Yeah. European speed Persian in the Svalbard archipelago of Norway holds the record for being the furthest north city in the world, boasting the world's most northerly school, airport, and university. But what really sets it apart is that it can also lay claim to some of the world's strongest rules. And in Longyearbyen, for example, it, it has been forbidden to die since 1950, the year in which scientists discovered that bodies simply cannot decompose there. The cold is too extreme. To this day, anyone found ill or dying is not given the chance to pass away, and is instead immediately taken by airplane or shipped to another part of Norway so that they can die and be buried safely. But it doesn't end there. Aside from prohibiting that, there are more peculiar rules and freedoms in Longyearbyen. Residents residents are permitted to openly walk the streets with high-power guns. There are 3,000 polar bears living locally. At the same time, no one is allowed to own any cars, which are forbidden because they are a danger to the population.
Well, okay, very good. Well, as you can see now, we find B a bit detailer, it's something like no, it's not about, the north city of the world because we have Spitsbergen and Svalbard archipelago, so no. So I think it's not. Do you agree?
Yes.
So which one? An unwelcoming place to die. No, I don't think so. You can guess, it's something like this is a part of text. So it's not a general idea. Okay? Of course, if you know the meaning of words like regulation, approach means way, approach means way. But about regulation, regulation can be something like rule, like control or rule. So for example, the state of being regulated, being controlled, okay? So an approach, unusual, keyword, unusual, strange, approach, way, okay? Well, now let's go to the text to check. So we think, we
It's
guess, before, yes.
It's like when I read this paragraph, I can find general idea or general uh, content
Very
in
good.
matching heading and
Yeah.
last sentence.
Yeah, of course you could find it. Okay, of course you could find it. And there is something that sometimes it's a bit confusing. It's a bit hard maybe to get the general idea of the text. So these words can help you. We see some words that we can find the synonyms of them in the text. So here, this is really, when we say unwelcome place today, okay, this is an example from text, just, a part of text. Exactly the same, so it's not. Another one, it's not, it can't be a general idea. We can guess. No, we guessed, okay?
Yeah.
This can be. Now let's be sure. So let's be sure. Okay, let's check how. So we think that an unusual approach to regulation. So because, as you can see, we have something about some strange rules. Can you see?
Yeah.
Strange rules. Okay, so we could find. And of course, we could find something unusual. Okay, so we can say that yes, this is unusual. There are some unusual rules, so it can be, as you told me. Of course, you can get the general idea when you read it. Just let's talk about some words that you actually read. The first one, decompose. Do you have any idea about the definition of this word?
Decompose.
Yeah. It means to break down or decay. Okay. What it means, let me say, for example, when someone is dead, someone actually dies, people need to bury this dead body into the ground. And then, of course, this dead body will compose, okay, will be separated, will be parted, okay? But sometimes, and this is actually the nature, okay? But sometimes, you know, when it's really cold, actually this cold something like place acts like a freezer and doesn't let that body decompose, the breakdown. So we can say that this dead body, you know, remain as, you know, exactly the same as the first day of burying. So it's not good for the nature. So because of this, actually, people are not allowed to die. So if someone actually, I don't know, feels sick or something like this, immediately they carry this person to another state because they don't want to have a dead body in this area.
Yeah.
And after that, we have another word that is peculiar, okay? Peculiar, that means unusual or strange. Or strange. So can you see? We have some synonyms.
Yes.
Peculiar rules means strange or unusual. Well,
And teacher, what is the word peculiar mean, teacher?
as I told you, this one, unusual or strange.
And it have the same meaning.
Synonym, of course, unusual. You know, as I told you, look, unusual
Uh,
means
peculiar.
peculiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote here. Can you see the book? I wrote here. This is
Yes.
in blue. Let me change the color so that you can see. Okay, red is better, I think. Peculiar means strange or unusual.
Yes.
Well, any other word? I don't think so, but if there is other thing, you can ask me. Nothing.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, well, keep going. Another one. Okay, let's read
And
it.
teacher,
Yes,
I'm I still have a question
of
on
course.
this paragraph.
Well, about this
This
paragraph, of course.
I can't find the main idea in the matching headings, and I just can find it when I read the entire paragraph.
Okay, you couldn't find in the first paragraph and you need to. So, because as I told you, sometimes, as I told you, you can't find the main idea at the beginning of your text. So you need to read the last
Yeah.
part. As you can see, we could find it in the last part, okay? So there are more peculiar rules, okay, and freedoms in Langerbian, and
Yeah.
of course some examples. So we can see, we can find, okay, so as I told you, it's not a rule that, you know, anytime you can find your actually heading at the beginning. No, sometimes the beginning of the text is only an example. And after that, of course, we have some supporting ideas. And at last, at the end of our text or paragraph, we have the main idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, okay. Another one. This one. Let's read.
Despite the fact that the town of Miller Park is close to the Kruger National Park, one of the largest game reserves in Africa, and despite the constant threat of visit from wild animals such as lions and hippopotam- hippopotamuses, its answers residents are not allowed to build fences around their houses to keep out their neighbors.
Well, let's guess.
I think C.
Okay, you think C, where humans and animals cautiously coexist. Very good. Okay, so how could you find it?
I think that because it's a in this matching matching heading, it say that some white animals visit, but residents are not allowed to build fences.
Yeah. You
And
know, we have some other underlined words, so let's discuss the meaning of this word. But before it, let's read the whole paragraph and then we'll talk about the answer. Okay?
yes.
So let's read.
In fact, the only fence permitted in the town was built by the local authority, interestingly with the aim of keeping humans out of the park, rather than containing the animals inside. Consequently, it is not unusual to see giraffes or elephants causing traffic jams, for example, and even predator attacks on humans are unnervingly common. A lion was recently said to have mauled and eaten an escaping burglar. Yet, even after this, while some residents then called for all lions to be rounded up and shot, others suggested that they be allowed to walk the thoroughfares as a type of crime control, after an increase in the number of burglaries. bur- burglaries. Everywhere in Mother Park a very understanding exists between man and beast.
Well, great. Okay. So your answer is correct. Okay, just let's talk about the words. First of all, underline. Okay, an unusual approach to regulation. Okay, regulation, some rules we're talking. So as you can see, for example, people are not allowed to build fences. So this is unusual. Okay. Uh, so people are not allowed to make some fences around their homes and around their houses. So it's not really usual. Okay, it's not really actually normal. And after that, we have dealing with the occasional dangers. Occasional.
Yes.
So we have the actually constant threat, you know, the constant threat of animals. It means, you know, there's something forever, not occasionally. So we can consider it as maybe false statements. Okay, so look, you know, in fact, the only fence permitted in the town was built by local authority. Okay, and the aim was keeping humans out of the park rather than containing the animals inside. Okay, and we have something like, you know, look, this one. Okay, for example, despite the fact the town of Marlborough Park is close to Kruger National, okay, despite the constant threat, it means, you know, danger. okay,
Yeah.
but not occasional, you know, this not occasional, so this opposite. And now the last one, where humans and animals cautiously, okay, cautiously means carefully, so you can consider it as, let me write the meaning of it. So cautiously means carefully, and
treat mean
means danger.
yes.
Well considered. Okay, so cautiously means careful, well considered. Okay, coexist. They live together, exist together. Okay, human and animals, as you can see, wild animals, we have it, such as lions and hippopotamuses. Okay, anxious residents, human. We can consider it as the synonym of human, very careful, well-considered human. Okay, and you're not allowed to build fences, as I told you. So this is something unusual. Okay, well, so we could find the answer. Now let's talk about some words that you can see. Okay, you can use these words while speaking as well. So if you want to talk about, for example, animals or maybe some wildlife, you can use these words. Okay, predator. Predator means an animal that lives by killing other animals. So, for example, a bear, a lion, a wolf, they kill other animals to live, to eat. So they are predator. So predator means an animal lives by killing and eating, of
Uh,
course.
is there
Yeah,
any synonym of this word, teacher?
let me write. Okay, so which word do you mean?
Uh, predator. Is this
Okay,
synonym?
the synonym of predator. Of course, if I want to give you a good synonym, meat eater can be, maybe meat eater animals can be
Meat?
predator, the synonym of predator. Yeah. But normally we say you use, you don't need to use, if you want to say, you can give a paraphrase, but you don't need, I don't think that you need to use synonyms. And now there is another word, carnivore. Can be something like carnivore, but you know, meat eater, I think meat eater is better. Meat eater or carnivore, yeah, can be synonyms. Okay. Well, uh, so let's keep going with the next word, unnervingly. Do you have any idea about the definition of this?
Unnervingly.
Yeah. Let me write this word for you if you want to, meat eater or carnivore, if you want to know meat eater. So both are synonyms if you want to know the synonym of this predator. So you can have this two words. Okay, so unnervingly common, unnervingly. You know, look, it's not unusual to see giraffes or elephants causing traffic jam, for example, and even predator attacks on humans are unnervingly common. It means in a way that makes someone feel nervous or frightened. It's really frightening. You know, it makes people feel frightened or maybe feel nervous. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, wow. And this one, mole, of course, this ed is for past. So this is the verb. It means attack and injure someone or maybe another animal with teeth or with claws. When, for example, some animals attack some other animals or people, by actually using their teeth or claws, it means maul.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for example, a lion was recently said to have mauled and eaten an escaping burglar. So it means actually it attacked and injured. So let me write. And burglar, burglar is thief, For example, a person, an animal that, steals something is burglar. And thoroughfare, this is a road, way. Thoroughfare means road or way. Normally, when we say thoroughfare, we mean main road, main way. Okay, and just this. Well, let's keep
Teacher,
going.
I
Yes, yes,
see again the thoroughfares. Yeah.
yeah. Thoroughfare means road or way.
Thoroughfares.
Thoroughfare, of course. Okay.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
Well, you're welcome. And okay, the last paragraph. Some paragraphs have no clear topic sentence, like this. Read the paragraph and make notes about its main idea. Okay, let's read the last one. I think this is the last one. Let me check. Yeah, and we have after that, we have some minutes. Okay, let's read.
Uh, the real Halista is in Australia and is brought to be a traditional UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Chinese Halista is a carbon copy built in Guangdong Province, China, by a millionaire who sponsored the construction of the imitation town. It cost approximately 940 million to build and looks exactly like a real helipad, all the way down to its wooden houses, its narrow streets, and its funicular, funicular, funicular railway. When the residents of Australia's hosted, including the mayor, were invited to visit it, they expressed pride that their town was considered so improperly beautiful that it had been reproduced in its entirety. But it still had cause for complaint. Originally, the Chinese company had promised to meet with the Austrian residents to confirm that they were happy to their homes to be copied. Instead, they simply sent their employees to Austria to take photos, and they returned home to China without speaking to a single resident of the original hostel. United
Okay.
Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization.
Okay, very good. Well, let's guess. Okay, let's guess which one can be better heading for this text.
I think B,
You think B, okay, and why?
because in the paragraph it say that when the Chinese imitate the structure from Austria, they didn't ask uh, or tell the resident in hostel, and they
Well,
just take a photo
yeah.
and
Mhm,
imitate
mhm.
it.
So you said some words. You say that B is the answer. Okay. But I don't agree. And why? As I told you, something that you didn't pay attention is to underline the keywords. Conflict, reality, imitation, official, recognition, investment, encouraging, importance. Now, let's find it. A conflict between reality and imitation. Of course, some texts are a bit, challenging, so it's a bit hard to find, okay? But we can guess, why not? Let's talk about, first of all, actually, we have, a traditional UNESCO World Heritage Site, okay? And that is a real place. And we have another, actually, copy, another town, a place that is actually a carbon copy, exactly the same. So we are talking about two things, okay? And then, okay, we're going to find, you say B, the importance of official recognition. Let's find. Do we have anything about, something like recognition, or, recognition means the act of realizing and accepting
Yes,
that, something is
I,
true,
I,
okay? So
I
something like acceptance. Do we have something about it?
yes, I see
What?
in from originally the China to the hoster. They say that the Chinese company have promised to meet with the Austrian residents to confirm that they were happy for their homes to be copied, but instead they simply send their employers to take photo and without telling to residents.
So, okay, so what is, okay, so where? The importance of, okay,
Oh,
what is important here? Nothing. The
yeah,
importance of official, recognition, no, it's nothing. After that, the result of encouraging, there is nothing about encouraging wider investment. We have nothing about investment here. Okay, so we can guess that A can be the answer. Now, when we read it, okay, by a millionaire, because when we see the, okay, this, the result of encouraging wider, okay, we have a millionaire sponsored the construction of the imitation town. So we have keywords, okay? So, but we don't have anything about encouraging, wider investments. No, we don't have. So all, as I told you, carbon copy means exactly the same. So let me give you the meaning of some words. They may help you. So carbon copy means exactly the same. And funicular, that is small special railway. So it's special small railway that carries people up and down, maybe actually normally a steep hill, and may normally, for example, a mountain or slopes. For example, with some, let me show you. For example, like this, for example, if this is a way, and this is railway, go up and down, a slope, or something like mountain, or something like steep hill. So this is a special railway, funicular, small, special railway. And we have mayor, that a person who elected, of course, who has been elected by people, or for example, by government, to lead the government of maybe town or city. So maybe responsible for a town or city is mayor. And and as I told you, recognition, that is the act of realizing and accepting that something is true, but there is nothing about it. Well, as you can see, we have two towns. One is a real town, that is a real, actually, heritage site. Another one is imitation, it's copy of this real. And as you can see, when people actually invited, they found the town probably beautiful, okay, but they still had cause for complaint. So there was a conflict. They were happy, but they were not happy. You know, there was some actually there were some contrasts. So we can consider A as the answer. So as you can see in this text, is a bit difficult to find the heading easily because it's a bit confusing. So we need to read the whole text from the beginning to the end. And we need to follow the keywords. As I told you before, the key secret, the most important thing is keyword. If you find keywords, you can find something else. If you can't, don't look for the other things in order to find your answer, okay?
Yeah.
Well, let's keep going. Look at these words: unusual, imperfect, coexist. As you can see, they include prefixes on, im, co. Do you have any idea about the definition of on, the meaning on, im, co?
I think that un is the opposite. Is also the opposite, and cold is yeah. It's like with
Yeah. Co means together. So
yeah.
anytime, anywhere that you see this prefix, you need to mean it as together. Co-worker, worker together. Coexist, live together. And for example, cooperate, operate together. Okay, im and on means not. Of course, as you told you, like opposites, especially unusual, on. Okay, so we call them prefixes. Now let's talk about all the prefixes, okay? Let's think about some words that begin with the prefixes in the box, okay? So let's talk about them. Post, for, sub, multi, anti, miss, non, pre, over, under. Okay, let's talk about them. For example, post. Do you know the meaning of this prefix? For example, postgraduate.
After.
Yeah, very good. After, okay. And for, like
It,
forward, like forecast.
yeah. It's before.
Very good. That's before. Sub, subway, subtitle.
Uh, I don't know.
Okay. Where can you find a subtitle? Where?
The subtitle maybe on the website.
Below. You know, for example, you normally find subtitles. For example, when you watch a movie, you can see subtitle actually below the pictures.
Uh,
So below, under, okay. And multi, as you know,
many.
more than many. And after that, anti, for example, anti-aging, antibiotic, for example, is something like opposite or against.
Again. Yeah.
Against or opposite. Okay, miss. Mistake, misunderstand, misspell.
Is wrong.
Yeah, wrong. With a misunderstand, it means, understanding in a wrong way, a bad way. So miss means wrong or bad. And non, for example, non-fiction, nonsense.
is no value.
Very good. Not. Yeah, of course. Pre, as you know, prefix, opposite of post. Pre and post are opposites. Prefix, suffix, pre and post. So
And
pre means before.
and
Yeah, for example, preview. Preview means will before actually your main view, preview. Okay. And over.
yeah. And what is the difference between pre and for?
Pre and for.
Yeah.
Okay. For example, when you say before or forecast, okay, something like it's something different, okay. But when you say pre, it's actually in level. We say that it's before happens before something. But let me say something. Let me give you another example. Look, what is this? For example, okay, what is this? Forehead. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a part of body. Forehead. Forward. It has different meaning. Okay. Not only, you know, you think that, okay, when you say for or for with E, you know, all the time it means before. No, no. You know, we can use it. For example, before. Okay, it's different from pre. Pre means before something, means before something. Get it?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. While and over.
Over is better.
Can be, you know, it's something like too much, you know, for example, overload, overdose, too much, you know, we can consider it, or above, for example, over the moon, you can say above. So both are correct.
Yes.
And under, you know, means,
Is opposite to over.
yeah, of course, it means below. Yeah, can be considered as below. Yeah, of course. Under, on the weather. Yeah, very good. Okay. Now, using the correct prefixes from the box above, change the words, okay, and use the correct form. Okay. The tourist brochure.
Yeah.
Try to guess.
I want about pre-warn.
Yes, very good. Pre-warn or forewarn. Both are correct. So you can say forewarn or pre-warn. Both are correct. Yeah. And the next one.
Under.
Okay. Again, think about it.
Uh,
So the cemeteries will never be, you know the meaning of cemetery? You know, it's a place where dead people are buried. So
Uh,
Yeah, can be considered. So why, when there is no more place, it shouldn't be, it shouldn't be
over.
overpopulated. Yeah, of course, overpopulate. Yeah. Okay, and the next one. So overpopulated, you know this because you need to add be populated. Okay, the residents of Holstead believe that inform
I think misinformed.
very good, excellent, very good. Okay, it turns out, okay, they were misinformed. Okay, it means, you know, it has a particular result, something unexpected. When you say turns out, okay, it happened, for example, in a particular way. And after that, next one. And this is a negative. You can, you know, noun and negative.
Uh,
You know,
oh,
anti-governmental system. You know, as you remember, of course, you need to, when you think about actually the place and the text, actually you can guess. So as you can see in parentheses, we have an, that is noun. We need to make a negative. Okay, of course, you can say anti-government or governmental, both are correct.
yeah.
Okay,
Teacher,
well,
I have time to
yes,
note it.
of course you have time, of course.
Yes, I'm finished.
Okay, so it's done. Well, okay. And your assignments for home, okay, so as you can see, every section of this book has this part, exam skills, that is your assignment. So every section, speaking has, writing has, actually exam skills. And now, of course, reading section is finished now. We have exam skills, that is your assignment for home. So I ask you to do this part and send me your answers, okay? If you have any word, any actually problem with words and definition of words, phrases, you only need to underline and send the words to me. Then I will give you the explanation and the definition of words, okay?
Yes.
Well, so this is your assignment for home. You need to read and answer the questions related to the reading, okay? So Any questions, any issues?
Um, the word vanilla. This is adjective or noun, teacher.
Would you say the word again?
Uh, um, Funicular.
Okay. You say that this is a noun or an
Adjective.
adjective?
Yeah.
Okay, so okay actually is a noun. So we consider it as a noun because it's something like a special railway. So we can consider it as a noun.
Yes.
Funicular, of course. And any other question?
Thing is very clear.
Okay, very good. Well, okay, just this. So how did you find it? Easy, difficult, or
Maybe
normal?
think it's a first one, so maybe it's simple. But if
Right.
we go further now, I think it will be harder.
Of course it will be. And you know, this is the last book for the last level of mindset series. You know, that's actually normally this is the last book that we teach to candidates and students that actually want to sit for an IELTS test. And of course, we say that if you finish this book perfectly, you can get band 7 or maybe 7.5 in IELTS. So
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So I hope you can get, of course you can. Well, just this. Thank you. It was really good time with you. Have a great week and see you next session.
Goodbye, teacher. Have a nice day.
Goodbye. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.